Hi brothers and sisters, my name is Eric Bison, just a passionate young man trying to say that we the youth of today, the future leaders of tomorrow, live a life of giving, a life of sharing, a life of being there for one another, a life of understanding that we came into this world for the purpose that we can help each other attain a better life in this society that we live in. And one of the important issues that we tend to forget in our society today, especially in the African continent, we forget the fact that if you're not in good health, there is no way you can be productive in any society. If you are not in good health, there is no way the government can say we are growing economically, we are growing productively. There is no absolute way. So this comes to the point where we have to fight for sustainable healthcare in rural areas in Africa, especially in Cameroon in particular. I talk of this with an example. I lost two family members in 2005, my mother and my sister, in a space of 1 year from an unknown sickness. That gave me the only fact and experience to think about this issue when it comes to healthcare in the rural areas of Cameroon. Because we have a policy in Cameroon, I don't know, or it's a habit in Cameroon where money comes first before treatment. Money comes first before the question of what is wrong with you, or what should I do, or what can I do to help you when it comes to your health issues. We have that lack of educational health. We have that lack of healthcare education in our rural areas in Cameroon, which makes in such a way that our people go every day, suffering every day from sicknesses that they could have prevented it in the first place. Now the issue is, when it comes to sustainable healthcare, where do we stand as individuals or citizens of the Republic of Cameroon? You know, the emphasis here is sustainable. It does not include a one-time fix, or when things dry up, we stop and say, okay, well, we tried, that's it. Or whenever key personnel leave one institution to the other one dries up. No, we need unity when it comes to institutional change in Cameroon. When it comes to healthcare sustainability in Cameroon, we need to team up, we need to pair up together to make that happen. We find ourselves right now, I for one, in a country called United States of America, where we know that the United States is considered one of the greatest economic country or economic transformation continent or country in the world. But they find themselves fighting with the question like, will Medicare go bankrupt, or would Obamacare make significant difference? Clearly, I would rather deal with such questions than facing the issue that we face, or the healthcare issue that we face in Cameroon at this particular moment. Why is it that a child in Cameroon is expected to live only at the age of 53? Yes, 53 years old, which means those that are 54 years old right now, or some of us that are fighting to reach 54, 55, we are going to live on a borrowed life expectancy age. Which means everybody is expected to live to 53. Which means if you're 54, then you are living already an additional year which you borrowed instead. But that is not the lifestyle that we should live in Cameroon. That's not the lifestyle that our people in the rural areas of Cameroon should be going through. These people in the rural area of Cameroon, or Cameroonian as a whole, are the productive citizens that make up that country. So the policy needs to change. Healthcare in Cameroon needs to be a priority. Healthcare in the rural areas of Cameroon needs to be a national priority. A national priority in the sense that you and I in the diaspora can come as one. All the organization, all the institutions in Cameroon right now unite as one to form institutions that will fight to eradicate non-communicable diseases in Cameroon at this point in time. The healthcare problem, frankly, is no different from one province of Cameroon to the other. It is all the same. Where in many cases, pregnant women unfortunately continue to give birth in the absence of birth attendants. 4 to 10 pregnant women give birth in the absence of a birth attendant. It is a scenario where roughly 13 children of every 100 born child today in Cameroon does not make it to their 5th birthday. This is a serious issue. I'm talking about 13 out of 100 children don't make it to their 5th birthday. This is serious. This is something that we have to take at heart. This is a priority that we need to focus on. In older population, non-communicable diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, cholera, malnutrition, all these diseases are killing our people in the rural areas. But we have turned in the spotlight, or we have made HIV/AIDS, malaria to be the most major sicknesses that affect our people in the rural areas or in Cameroon. We have put them in the spotlight. But the real issue is this. We have other diseases like malnutrition, cholera, diarrhea. Those simple diseases that we tend to forget are the ones that are eradicating our people in Cameroon. So we need to create a national policy that are going to stand still and fight against non-communicable disease in Cameroon. We need to unite all those NGOs that are in Cameroon fighting for healthcare issues. You are there for the same reason. So the time has come that all of us have to unite and form institutions that are going to stand still and labor hard to make sure that a policy is embedded in our national anthem, in our national philosophy to fight against non-communicable diseases. Cameroonians, the time for change in our healthcare system is now. The time to fight for healthcare in the rural population of Cameroon is now. The time to give our country a policy of healthcare where everybody is treated before money is being asked, or everybody is giving the healthcare before money is being asked. The time is now, and we have to unite as one. I can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. We have to unite and make it priority. It doesn't have to be my own family member. Yes, I lost 2 of them, but I'm taking from that example losing 2 to create a foundation where I'm going to unite organizations that are fighting for the same cause. We are going to make that door-to-door aspect, door-to-door healthcare system in Cameroon. We are going to use telemedicine as a form of healthcare transformation in the rural areas of Cameroon. It is very difficult to divorce the problem we face in Cameroon. And it is also very difficult to look at the fact that we can sit in the diaspora and close our eyes and see our country go down when it comes to a healthcare strategy or a healthcare policy. I may be talking and people say, yeah, I talk too much, or I don't know so much about the issue of healthcare or the statistics. But the one thing that I know is this: people are dying in the rural areas of non-communicable diseases, diseases that can be prevented. Diseases that can be prevented. Why don't we take a national policy of prevention is better than cure? Prevention is better than cure. People of Cameroon, the time is now. I don't care if you ask me what practical steps need to be taken. It is very simple. If you and I put our ideas together, we are going to come up with a strategy of a door-to-door strategy that we are going to march in these rural areas of Cameroon, being in Lebialem, being in Bamenda, wherever we are, and give these people educational help, or give these people good healthcare strategy or good healthcare education. We have another major issue in Cameroon: lack of physicians, lack of medical personnel. We have few medical personnel for that large population. Cameroon right now is roughly 20 million population, and we have that lack of physicians in Cameroon. It is estimated that 1,600 physicians in the whole country with approximately 20 million inhabitants. How is that possible? Let's take for a state like Pennsylvania, for example. I'm sure, looking at statistics, there is with inhabitants of like 10 million people, there's at least 31,000 trained physicians. Yeah, I know the comparison may look stupid. I know the comparison may be like, oh, why are you comparing a city in Cameroon to a city in the United States? But my idea here is we need to train more people to become physicians. We need to focus more on physicians, nurses that are going to help these people in the rural area. We need to create task forces. That personal mission will be to eradicate non-communicable disease in our area in Cameroon. This is pertinent issue. We need trained personnel. We need to educate our people when it comes to healthcare strategies, when it comes to healthcare prevention, when it comes to hygienic system that we can use in Cameroon. We need to fight diseases or train our people or our mothers in education when it comes to things like breast ironing. Yeah, people don't know about breast ironing in the world, but breast ironing is happening in our rural areas in Cameroon, where the little girls' breasts are being pressed with stones, hard stones, to prevent guys from looking at them or from looking at their breasts. But the reality is this: if those mothers are educated that those things are bad for the children, those things can cause cancer to those little girls by the time they grow up. then they will understand that they have different ways of preventing guys from chasing after their little girls while they are still young, rather than pressing their breasts with a stone to make those breasts die down. That is not a form of prevention. Prevention is that system where you make that disease not to affect that person in the first place, or that disease not to even lay a foundation or to have a platform. The time is now, people. I may not have all the statistics. I may not be very knowledgeable when it comes to the in-depth statistics of healthcare in Cameroon. But like I said before, I know one thing. Our people in the rural areas are dying from non-communicable disease that people tend to forget about. So we need to focus on those things. Things like high blood pressure, we need to create systems that people will have their high blood pressure or their blood pressure monitored from time to time, and see how we can eradicate, or we see how we can prevent them from having that high blood pressure in the first place. One thing we have to understand is this: we have to think big in Cameroon. We just don't have to think only about where we come from, but we have to think big. We have to make this idea of healthcare in the rural areas a priority, a big issue in Cameroon. This is not the time to wait on our government, because we can continue waiting on the government of Cameroon forever. But we are not going to get what we want from them. We are not going to get that strategy. We are not going to get that solution. What we have to do now is, as citizens of Cameroon, coming together, looking for ways, practical ways, looking for systems like the door-to-door healthcare, like the emergency system or the ambulance that the United States have here, where they run across places easily with first aid kit in their car. We create strategies like that. We create vans like that. We put all those first aid kit inside. We teach the women how to how to walk them, or not how to walk themselves, or how to treat themselves while they are pregnant until they give birth, and why they give birth, what comes after. We need to teach them those little strategies. We need to teach our boys and girls preventive strategy, hygienic strategy on how to prevent diseases like cholera, diarrhea, tuberculosis, all those things. We know them, but we tend to ignore them because we are focused so much on malaria and HIV/AIDS that are in the spotlight. But we need to put those non-communicable diseases in the spotlight this time. We need to make it a national policy that those diseases that are killing our people in the rural areas of Cameroon be gone. So, we must ask ourselves one thing: what are we doing to make sure that my brother, my sister, when I mean my brother, my sister, I'm talking about my brother as a Cameroonian, my sister as a Cameroonian, is doing to be in good health? We should take it as a priority. That is, you and I should take it as a priority to educate our people, to work hand in hand with all the organizations that we have in Cameroon today, fighting for the same cause of good health care for our people, coming together and creating institutions. I'm talking about institutions that's firm policy or national policy is eradication of non-communicable diseases in Cameroon. We don't want to have that life expectancy of 53. We want to have that life expectancy of 100 and whatever years you want to live. We don't want to have that statistics of 13 out of 100 children not making it to their 5th birthday. We want to make that, we implement a strategy where we are going to eradicate those statistics and make those children live as long as they can. Brothers and sisters, like I said again, I don't know all, but I think you and I coming together, we can make this thing possible. You and I can take it as a national policy in Cameroon to fight non-communicable diseases in our rural areas. My mother and my sister went through this. That is why I created, or I'm working on this foundation called Mary Louise Foundation of Cameroon in honor of my mother. Because I know wherever she is in heaven right now, she knows that good health care needs to be given to our people in the rural areas. That people don't have to suffer what she went through without even knowing what she is sick of. Where we need to create strategy that we can diagnose diseases before they even get to the inside of the people. Brothers and sisters, now the question is, what are we doing? what is it that you and I have to do? Or what is it that you and I are doing right now on that issue, on that matter? Brothers and sisters, this is not the time to wait on our government. They have failed us. They are focused on policies that are putting money in their pocket. They are focused on being there in government and staying there forever. We don't have that, and we can't count on them because they have given us fake policy. They have given us policy that don't work. We are tired of that. It's like a bangy man say, I'm eating eru all the time. Now it's giving me diarrhea. I need to stop eating eru and eat something else that will give me good health. That will give me a sustainable health. That will keep me in shape. Not eru and eru every day, or achu every day. Something different. So we need a national policy, a different national policy when it comes to healthcare issues in Cameroon. When it comes to non-communicable diseases in Cameroon, brothers and sisters, the time is now. The time is now. Join me in this fight of non-communicable diseases in Cameroon. Join me in this fight of making that policy of money comes up before treatment go away, and treatment before we think of money comes in. That is what we need to do. Let's face reality. We know all those things. So let's go to work and stop marching on the side and stop thinking all about our own blood brother or our own blood sister in Cameroon. This is the time that we think of Cameroon as a whole. The rural areas of Cameroon as a whole, because you from Bamenda, I from Mamfe, there is no difference. We suffer from the same diseases, from the same non-communicable diseases. So we need to come together and work hard to fight those non-communicable diseases. I have said my own. It is time for you to think about it. It is time. It is just a reminder. Like I said, I don't know best, but I think it is time that you and I wake up and stand in this fight against non-communicable diseases in Cameroon. I don't want what my mother and my sister went through for another mother and sister in Cameroon to go through that same issue. I want to make sure that if my fellow is dying, I know what they are dying of. If my fellow is suffering for something, I know what they are suffering of. And I can prevent things from happening, not wait until they happen, then I start thinking of the cure. Prevention is better than the cure. We all know that. Critical thinking, we all know that. So let's fight hard. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Again, my name is Eric Bison, just a passionate young man trying to see that this 21st century we live a life of sharing, a life of giving, a life of being there for one another. I'm making sure that Cameroonians, wherever you are, Cameroonians wake up. It is time to give our people back home, in general, good health. There is no way we are going to be productive. There is no way Cameroon is going to be in the spotlight if we don't have people in good health. There is no way Cameroon is going to be in the spotlight when we have people dying in the rural areas of malnutrition, cholera, that they don't have good potable water. But we sit there and say we are from Cameroon. That is how we fight, by making sure that they don't die from those diseases that we can prevent in the first place. The choice is ours. What do we do now? The time for change is now. Like I said, I'm going to fight for it till the day I die. Join me. Together, we bring good health in Cameroon, especially to the rural people of Cameroon. Love you all out there, especially my folks back in Africa. I will fight for you guys. Thank you.